A retired U.S. colonel who served in Afghanistan tells me that his unit as of now has lost more soldiers to suicide and to overdoses than they did to Taliban insurgents, and he's trying to do something about it. Hours ago, U.S. Army Colonel Chris Kolenda finished a 1,700-mile bike ride across the United States. He visited the grave sites and the grieving families of 6 members of his unit, all of whom were killed in action in Afghanistan in 2007. Kolenda began in Spalding, Nebraska, where Private First Class Chris Pfeiffer is laid to rest. And then he headed east to honor Sergeant Adrian Hike, Specialist Jacob Lowell, Staff Sergeant Ryan Fritchie, Captain David Boris, and finally Major Tom Bostic, who's buried at Arlington National Cemetery. I wrote about Kolenda, plus Pfeiffer, Lowell, Fritchie, and Bostic in The Outpost, my book about the dangerous and deadly combat outpost Keating. This ride is about more than just honoring Kolenda's fallen soldiers, however, as important as that is. Kolenda is using it to raise awareness and financial support for the countless soldiers living with post-traumatic stress.
Now, on a 1,700-mile bicycle ride, you have a lot of time to think. It was about 24 days, averaged, I think, 74 or so miles per day. And you have a lot of time to think. And I do a lot with leadership, culture, and strategy. I help people build their businesses. And so I thought, I bet I can develop some thought leadership from this. And so I'm going to share some of those insights with you. And so the saddle is hitting the soft tissue right between the sit bones. And it was very painful. So knowing that when I got my bike fit, I had a 145 millimeter saddle, and all of the pain down there went away. So I think it's just like anything in business and in life, the right fit positions you to succeed. So when you look at how to determine right fit, you can use a double axis chart just like this. On the north-south axis will be affinities like natural talents. What's an affinity if you love it? You love it. And then you have skills on the east-west axis. And it's a skill if you are good at it. And this gives you 4 different zones of being, if you will. If you are in the lower left, where you don't have a natural talent for it, you don't have the skill for it, so you hate it and you're terrible at it, then that's called the dropout zone. Because that's exactly what people do in that situation, is they drop out. Did you know that Beyonce was a high school dropout? Some fabulously successful business leaders, political leaders, have been high school and college dropouts. You can name a whole bunch of them just off the top of your head. It wasn't a great fit for them, and so they got themselves out of a situation that was a bad fit. If you're in the lower right, where you're good at it, but you hate it, you can do the job very well. Some of your employees are in this situation where they're doing the job very well, they're very skilled at it, but they hate it. And what happens is they burn in more energy than they ought to be. And this is called your burnout zone. And this is what happens when one of your top employees comes up to you and says, "Hey boss, here's my 2-week notice. I am smoked, I am exhausted, I need a break." This is what happens when we are in a situation that's just it doesn't meet our natural talents. So even though we're really good at it, we're burning more energy, eventually we're going to flame out.